Hello, world. Welcome back to Golf Subpar with Colt Knost and Drew Stoltz. We are coming off the Sleazy Man's old home track, Colonial Charles Schwab Challenge, where Sam Burns took down world number one Scotty Scheffler in the playoff. The story early in the week, though, was you on the bag for Wyndham Clark. What the hell happened, man? Y'all rolling on good. I'm sitting at the hotel looking, checking, like, okay, they're going to be around for the weekend at least.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, you were back in Scottsdale.
There was no reason not to be around for the weekend. We had a little, it's just one of those things, man. I talked to a lot of people about it, including Wyndham, like in depth. It's just, as soon as everything's going along fine, as soon as the collar starts getting a little tight, one bogey, we were plenty inside the cut line, bogeyed 5. I was like, okay, everyone bogeys like 5. It's the hardest hole in the world. No sweat at all. Part of the next hole, but things were just getting a little tighter. And then 7, we had a bad tee ball. All of a sudden, we can't hit the green. We got to chip it up front. Boom, chip it up 10, 12 feet, miss. All right, it's getting a little tighter. And then 8 was this hole that really cost us. We tried to play it underneath the hole, pick a club that couldn't go long, and he damn near holed it on the fly to that back pin. It rolls over to the grandstand. Another bogey there without really hitting a bad shot.
So bad club on you.
And then 18.
Hold on. Go back to number 8 because for the guys that don't know, it was 197.
197
pins on the
flag,
back
191 to get up top to the top tier.
And it's
a little puff in at the time.
It's a huge no. Everybody has red X's in their yardage book.
Exactly.
Long is no good. I believe he had 7 iron.
We talked about it in depth. Yeah, so Davis Riley got up before us. We've been about a club longer than Davis. I mean, Wyndham hits it so damn far. It was really hard to even get used to like trying to pull. I don't even stop even trying to say numbers. I was like, I think he got to fly at 215. Whatever that club is, hit that because he just can hit it weird distances. But I was like, all right, 197, 191 to get up top. Davis gets up there, hits a 6, hits it just landed probably 15 yards. I don't think he full boarded, but it landed probably 12, 15 yards short of the flag, rolled to the bottom of the hill, putting up the hill. Fine, no stress. That's where you want to be because that top shelf is so small. I was like, anything that goes underneath, we just need to hit a club that doesn't, that takes long out of play. 197 is the number. Been hitting 7 iron about 195-ish, I guess, on the week, but it was a little warmer at the time and all that. But we had a puff of wind in. He's like, I think 7 is no problem. I was like, I agree. Like, 8, it definitely ain't an 8. Like 8, that's a 200-yard 8 iron, that's not a lot of bat. And damned if he doesn't just flush it right at it. And the entire time it was in there, I was like, damn, that's good. That might actually get up top too. And it pitched all the way there, but it almost slopes like away on that top shelf up there. Rolls by the grandstand. We get to drop, relief. Had a good lie. Opted to putt it out of that stuff, which he's been chipping it so good. I just handed him the lob wedge right away. He took the lob wedge, kind of looked at it. I was like, I think I'm just going to putt it. Hit it up there 6 feet short. Lips that out, so we got another bogey. Then we go into 9, and we're sitting at 1 over now. All of a sudden, it just happened like bang, bang, bang. And he's convinced we need birdie to play the weekend. I'm not sure that's the case, but I'm like looking up. I'm like, all right, we're T47 right now. The afternoon it gets crusty, it gets a little bit windier, it gets tougher. Like we know that 1 ain't dead, but yeah, even is definitely safe.
You aren't 1 over at the.
We're at 1 over at the time. Yeah. And he hits 4 iron down the middle of the fairway. I was like, if you think you need birdie, I think you should hit 3-wood over the bunkers because you can fly that 3-wood like 300 yards, 295. I was like, just hit it over that and have a little pitch because that pin's on the top shelf. It's hard with a full swing to not have the spin to bring it back, right? So like have something you could chase up that hill. He's like, I like the 4 iron. I was like, perfect. I don't hate the 4 iron at all. It'll give us a wedge, 9, something like that. Hits a good 4 iron. Got wedged from the middle of the fairway. He was running hot at this point, trying to calm him down. He got a little quick, I think just thought he had to hit it to a foot, left it out right. We ended up making bogey on that whole short side. It had no chance from where the wedge went, probably the worst swing of the week. And next thing you know, we make bogey. And then I'm on the plane home later that afternoon. He's texting me, he's like, +1 made it in. I was like, yeah, dude, it's every year, dude. It's even +1, +2. Like for it to go, it was +1 yesterday. For it to go 2 less than that and go to, for the day to go to -1 and end up at even, like that's a pretty big swing. But it's just one of those things, man. Like golf, like sometimes playing for that cut is the hardest thing.
No, it sucks.
It sucks, and I can just kind of feel it happening. And he is so talented with golf that as soon as that brain catches up to everything else, and he realizes, I said this to him, and I actually talked to Max and Joe, and I think we're gonna have a little talk this week. He reminds me so much of Max Homa 3 years ago, pre-Max, where he exploded and started winning, and he's gonna be on our President's Cup team and all that stuff. All of us talked about like, Max, you're so talented, you're so good, everything's great. And Max was the only one that didn't believe it. Mm-hmm. I think Wyndham's in that state right now where everyone that sees it. I mean, dude, we got up on 11 the second day, first group off, 7:20 off. First group, it's dewy, it's calm, there's no wind, but the ball's not going as far. I was in a little jacket at the time. We step up on 11, He hits a drive like, I mean, I haven't seen many like this in my entire day. 342 down the center, like flies the left bunker, basically. We have like 270 into the pin. First group off, like I said, we're 50 in front of everybody else in our group. We end up making 6. Hit 3-wood into the right hazard. Where the pin's back right, you can miss it left anywhere you want to. Just little things like that. And like even Joe Griner sent me a text later that afternoon. He's like, dude, we stepped on 11. We were in the afternoon. We had like a good drive. We get up there and look at longest drive of the day. Wyndham Clark 342. And I was like, yeah, we made a 6th on that hole. Just like little things like that. You know what I mean? The raw material is all there. He just had a long time since he's felt like he's gotten much out of it, like a round of golf. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, if you're hitting it good, you're not putting good. If you're putting good, you're not hitting it good. He just needs a day or two where everything really lines up, because the talent level is, I'm not just saying this because he's my boy, but it's ridiculous. It's top 10 level talent, but brain's a big piece of that.
How'd you enjoy that big bag?
Oh, sucked ass. Showed up. He's like, sorry, dude, try to get Titleist into carry bag. Apparently they don't do that anymore. So we had the big bag, and Ellis wears his straps backwards. He carries it like a left-hander. So they're all out of whack and all this thing. So I was just basically going one strap most of the time, rotating right shoulder, left shoulder. Had a great caddy group, by the way. Our boy Bird Dog, Justin York, was in the house with Adam Shank. And then Lance Bennett, who was on the bag for Harrington for a while, and then went over to Davis Riley. Also, I had the best caddy group you could possibly have. Lance is a 10. York's a 10. Talked to them like the entire time. I just couldn't have had a better caddy group, honestly. And Davis, got to know him a little bit.
You were the second best caddy in the group. I mean, York's
ahead of York, 100%
ahead of
York. York just told me about what he's eating and how much weight he's lifting all the time. He's like, yeah, I just cut out all carbs and I just bench press all day.
Let's talk.
He's a shit house, by the way.
He is. He's a big boy. It might not all be legal, but that's topic for another
Whatever.
day. Yeah. But let's talk a little bit about the Charles Schwab Challenge, because Sam Burns, once again, picks up his 3rd win of the season. Scotty Scheffler was looking for his 5th. They battled it out in a playoff where Sam Burns made an incredible putt. But I was there on Sunday. I've never seen Colonial so crispy, so windy. I mean, this place was giving these players hell. We saw Harold Varner III play a 7-hole stretch and 10 over when he had the lead. It was chaos out there.
That's what makes that golf course so fun. If you can catch the conditions, if you catch it calm and benign, like you can go get after that place. But you rarely get that at Colonial. And they didn't have the ton of rain like they had at the beginning of the week last year, so the greens were getting firm. Even Thursday when we were out there in the afternoon, I was like, damn, these things are getting crusty. You could see the little sheen on them. If you weren't playing from the fairway, you had no chance. You were catching those crazy flyer lies, balls coming in with no spin. And then go to Sunday and you get the heavy wind out there. Just show like there's more or less a 7,000-yard golf course, a little north of that, 7,200. And what won?
Yeah,
9
under.
9 single digits.
Matter.
I mean, you don't have to make these things 7, 8, and it's a perfect example. And that course is really well designed. And you need a little help from Mother Nature. The wind played a huge role in it, but you can do it. And it was all those guys could ask for. I mean, Scotty Scheffler is the best player in the world right now, going through and not making a bird. That's hard to get him on a golf course where he doesn't make a bird.
So the last person to win a golf tournament and not make a birdie in the final round, I believe, was Vijay Singh at the 2004 PGA. So it doesn't happen very often, you'd never expect to. But here's Sam Burns, who goes out there like an hour and a half before the leaders, posts 9 under, probably had his club glove packed up, ready to go, ready to get back to Shreveport. And all of a sudden, bam, I'm in a playoff.
Because it was jammed up at 10.
There was 5
you looked up
tied.
and there's 5 at 10. All right, it takes just one of them's got to play it at par into the house. Just one, and it's over. And then you got to figure one of those guys that are playing that good are going to make a couple birds and it'll be done. It's just like one by one. Disaster or bogey. I thought Davis Riley was going to be just watching him Thursday, Friday. We were paired with him. It was my first time seeing him. He was our dark horse. I was like, this dude, it's rock solid, man. There's just not a weakness. The length is plenty good. The iron play, I mean, it's at it all the time. He misses it in the right. Oh, there's a tough pin. He hits it in the right spot. Inside 10 feet, he didn't miss the center of the hole. I made one bogey in the Thursday, Friday, and he had missed it on short-sided on 16 and couldn't get a chip close. That was the only bogey. And I mean, dude, it was just rinse, repeat over and over for him.
Yeah, he's impressive. He's going to get it done eventually. And he can probably afford a nice little new timepiece with this ride he's been on.
Are you kidding me? How about a little TAG Heuer in the house? Because if you're passionate about golf, TAG Heuer is setting a new dimension in watchmaking through cutting-edge technology with the newly released connected Calibre E4 Golf Edition. Swing detection and shot distance tracking, interactive maps, smart scorecard, the TAG Heuer Connected Calibre E4 is the high-performing companion to any golfer who wants to take their game to the next level. The TAG Heuer Connected Calibre E4, together with the TAG Heuer Golf app, is the ultimate companion for on and off the golf course. Designed for performance, ready for everyday life. Visit tagheuer.com/golf to learn more. You cannot go wrong with a little TAG Heuer on the wrist.
Incredible.
You know what I'm talking about?
On and off the golf course.
Anywhere.
Beautiful watch.
Anywhere.
Absolutely. Well, this week's episode is something special / terrifying. I actually got to be a solo host this week and interview you and your partner, Drew Kittleson, who had an amazing run at the USGA Four Ball where you ended up finishing runner-up. I don't want to talk anymore about it, so we're going to get right into the episode. But first, I want to tell you a little bit about Doers and the U.S. Open, which is coming up very, very fast. And we're going to be there. And the U.S. Open is where golf's elite come together to determine the world's best. This year, the tournament is being held at the Country Club in Brookline, Massachusetts, where Francis Ouimet claimed America's first victory back in 1913. Doers, the official Scotch whiskey of the 122nd U.S. Open, is proudly commemorating this year's U.S. Open with the 2022 19-year-old Champions Edition. Meticulously crafted and double-aged, then finished in new American oak and first fill rye cast to create a profile as rich, complex, and exciting as golf itself. The 2022 19-year-old Champions Edition is a limited release, though, so if you can find it, get it. Then enjoy it as you raise a glass to the tradition and skill that makes golf such an exciting, rewarding, and fascinating sport. Doers, the official Scotch whiskey of the 122nd U.S. Open and the perfect Scotch whiskey for celebrating everything great about golf. It is now time for the Doers Cheers moment of the week. Something very special happened this past week, Sleaze. I was inducted into the Wall of Champions at my home course, Royal Oaks Country Club back in Dallas, joining the likes of Don January, Lee Trevino, D.A. Weibring, Justin Leonard. Really, really cool honor. They put me in a little bronze, my face in bronze, which, listen, Ronaldo, one of the prettiest men on the planet, looked terrible in bronze. So, therefore, no surprise, I don't look my best.
Did you not like how'd the bust come out?
Not my favorite. I was like, really, guys? This is what y'all do to me? Come on.
I saw the picture. I saw some people sent me some pic, but I couldn't really it was sideways, so I couldn't really see the face or whatever. But those are, I don't know how people make those look realistic anyways. If they can butcher Ronaldo, I mean,
if you butcher Ronaldo, they can
butcher everyone. You. The dude's basically a statue as it is.
But really cool moment, man.
I got some good scoop because I wanted to be there for you.
Yeah, you were supposed to speak.
Wanted to be there for you. Couldn't do it because of this show we're doing with Wyndham Clark for the Golf Channel. But got some scoop, was sending some texts, and then I ran into Randy Smith the next day and talking about, I was like, yo, how was it? I was supposed to be there. He's like, oh, it was awesome. I was like, how my boy hold up? He's like, oh, waterworks. But
it was his fault.
I was like, yeah, as it should be, dude. There's no shame in it.
No, there's no shame.
It's no sweat.
It was great, but the big cat, Frank Voigt, stepped in for you.
How'd he do? He can do a hell of a job, I bet.
Well, he had no idea, actually.
Oh, impromptu?
So I'm standing next to him, and they're like, we're going to bring up the president of the Colt Knost fan club, Frank Big Cat Voigt. And he's like, what? He's like, I had nothing prepared. So he goes up there, and then Randy's up there, and he's like, congratulations on becoming a filler, Frank. So my first line was, Frank, I'm so proud of you. Graduated from fluffer to filler. That kind of eased the moment a little bit, but it was a lot of fun.
Big Cat's a good guy to have speak on your behalf. If I could do it.
He is very, very special. It was a cool moment though.
Congrats to you, dude. Thanks. That's a cool thing, and not surprised.
That place took me in, man. That's a second family to me. Yeah, it was awesome to see. It was a lot of fun, and you know what else was awesome to see? You and the kitty cat, Drew Kittleson, make a run at the USGA Four Ball. Here it is. Well, everyone, this is a first. I'm about to interview Drew Stoltz and Drew Kittleson. Welcome back to Golf Subpar. Coming off an incredible run at the USGA Four Ball, where they went from alternate to damn near winner, ended up finishing runner-up. I'm not quite sure y'all have even recovered yet from all the golf you played. How are we feeling, guys?
I was just getting back healthy, dude, and then I had to go back down and carry Wyndham's bag for the week. Or for half the week at least. And the staffer he had this year, I was like, all my shit that was healing up. I had some blisters. I had some other situations that you run into in humid conditions. That was all going away. And then it just was like, back, just like that. So I'm beat up. Just washed.
My feet are a disaster.
Still.
I still got little, those blood clots things that get on the end of your toes. I mean, just disaster. And I'm not made for that. At 33 with a job, I'm not made for 36 holes and the Gold Bond, lotion, the whole thing, the whole 9 yards.
When was the last time you walked 18 holes, not counting the qualifier, which we did, which was in September?
Can't even tell you.
Same.
Don't even have a recollection.
When we play at Whisperock, you'll walk 3 or 4 holes just talking to Stowe.
If there's a good story going, then I'll walk. Otherwise, I'm in the cart 100%. Yeah, exactly. Otherwise, I'm out.
Well, let's go back because the qualifier, which is crazy to me, was all the way back in September. Correct? Of 2021.
Yeah, way long ago. Yeah.
Okay, and then fast forward, we got the 4 ball coming up. Y'all are I didn't even realize y'all were second alternate coming out of the site here in Arizona. And thanks to a team turning down going there, y'all are next in line, and y'all get the call on a Wednesday, I believe.
Yeah, Tuesday morning, I think is when I got the call. Our thing was in September. I'd forgotten all about the 4-ball. Just we were alternates. I was like, done, toast. Especially second. I was like, no chance. The two teams that made it out were both like two college kids. So I was like, all right, if they make regionals, that's kind of the way they do it now. If you're a good college player and you make regionals, it conflicts, so you can't go. So I was like, all right, well, maybe one, has to bail out or whatever. And I don't know how they do the alternate list, but I was like, second. I mean, we got in the playoff, and it was kind of like we had just blown it coming in. We were like 9. We were playing great. We were like 9 under through 12 or something like that, and we were booking flights. Where should we stay? Who do you know down in Birmingham? You know the deal, dude.
Victory speech,
what are we gonna
everything.
say when we win this bitch? And then all of a sudden we both bogeyed the same hole or something, and then parred in. I was like, we're gonna be real tight now. Sure enough, that's what happened.
All right, so you get the call Tuesday. The tournament starts on Saturday?
On Saturday, yeah.
Saturday, so you're scrambling together. Let's talk about through the booking of the flight situation, because I heard it was rather interesting. It all came together at Whisper Rock, from what is being told.
Well, yeah, so I was in my office on Tuesday morning, and I get this phone call from like a New Jersey number or whatever the USGA's headquarters at, and I don't answer it. And then I get a voicemail. So I hit Sleaze, and he was doing on y'all's radio show. Mm-hmm. So he's like, because the USGA, they can't just like wait. They needed to fill the spot.
Yeah.
So then I call him back. I'm like, hey, Sleaze's on the radio. So
give us a couple hours.
I need like 3 or 4 hours because we can't work through if we can make this work. And they're like, Rob was super great about it. We came back, got together, played the practice round for the National. We're at the National, this tournament at Whisper Rock, and just basically called our wives, looked at some work stuff, got it worked out, and we're like, all right, we should do this. And we're like, so do we leave Thursday and like maybe check the course out? And we're like, nah.
No practice round.
We're going to be right after the National. We're going to be in no state to get on a
Thursday night,
flight.
go to Birmingham.
So you got a Friday morning flight.
6 a.m.
One of you showed up for it. One of you didn't. Let's go through Friday morning real quick.
Back me up on this.
Yeah, so
there's some confusion.
Yeah, there's some confusion. 6 a.m. flight. We're sitting at the Rock. I was like, I'll just book the flight. We're sitting there, so I book it. No problem. 6 o'clock, you're in. He Venmos me, no stress. We go. Andrew Medley, friend of ours, is also playing. He's on the same flight as us. So Medley and I are neighbors. We told Sleaze to meet him at the airport. Think it's a joke. It's like 5:25, and we're like, hey, Sleaze. And he goes, hey, shoot, my alarm overslept. Haha, gotcha. And I was like, okay, so he'll be walking up any second. And he's like, Southwest, right? We're like, no, dude, American. And he's like, 6:30, right? We're like, no, 6. And he's like, I'm just parking. We're like, well, we're boarding.
Yeah.
So
you're not checking your bags.
So that's not going to work.
Mm-mm.
So what flight did you have?
I had a 6, so I booked a ton of shit.
Wait, who booked it?
Right in a row. My travel agent.
Yeah.
You know who my travel agent is. Shout out Susie. Shout out to Susie doing work. So I got like an influx of like 8 different flights that were all being booked. One of them was early on, got booked to Birmingham, and then I scrapped it. I was like, no, we just put it on hold. Like, I might need this. And then once he booked it, I was like, I don't need that. But it was still showed up in my email. So the night before I went through, I was like, oh, yeah, there's the Birmingham flight, 6:35. All good. Perfect. Screenshotted it. Confirmation number, all that shit. I didn't even look at I don't think I got the one from American because I couldn't find the confirmation number anywhere. So I show up. I'm like, yeah, I need this flight to Denver real quick. I was trying to get on it, or through Houston.
Oh, by the way, this is what
I thought we were going through Denver.
Is that no, it was through Dallas.
Houston.
We talked about going through Dallas, and the Southwest flight that he had already booked was also going through Dallas, as was the American flight at 6. So right. He was like, "There's no way it wasn't the 6 because we're going through Dallas." So that's kind of screwed.
And you got in like 5 hours later than everybody else.
Yeah, I got in like in the evening time. It was like dusk. The sun was going down. I took an Uber to the course, grabbed because they had a car there. Taylor Wood, Medley had a car. Like, yo, just ride with us. We'll go to the hotel. So I showed up. It was like dark, and I was like, well, dude, the range isn't even going to be open. I'm not going to get to hit a ball or anything. I was like, maybe I'll hit a couple putts.
Prepared, as always.
Exactly. I showed up. I showed up. I was like, is the range still open? Like, yeah. So I just grabbed a little small bucket, went down there, flicked a few wedges or whatever, and then it was dark. And then we got after it.
You mentioned y'all had a car. Talk to me about this car, because I heard it was a beast of a van, loaded with some very interesting products.
Yeah, well,
that thing was hot in the streets. That thing was hot in the streets.
The chicks knew we were in Birmingham for sure.
Yeah,
we were running the streets. Listen to Lazo, that Mariah Carey Lazo song.
Big energy was heavy on the rotation in there. There was some big energy in that minivan. It looked like something you'd see 5-year-olds spill out of and go to soccer practice.
So, most of the time when guys get in town for a tournament, they go to the store and they get their essentials, whether it be Gold Bond, deodorant, energy bars. Y'all went to the liquor store, I believe. What did we purchase?
So I got there because he was late. And then so Medley and Wood were like going to go play a practice round. And Medley's friend picks us up from the airport. And they're like, are you going to go play? And I just like grabbed my 60 degree. I was like, no. And they're like, you're not going to go see the course? And so I walked like 3 holes and I was like, I'm leaving. I'll go to the grocery store for everybody. And so they finished.
What are you going to learn walking around your 60? Nothing.
Yeah, I was like, what am I going to do? It's like, it's either I'm either going to play good or I'm not, and then we'll just move on with my life. And then so I was like, I'll go to the store. Everybody send me the list. So get the text message from him. He's on the airplane at the time, but I know what his list is. So go through it. Taylor Wood's like, granola, like some bananas.
Alkaline water.
Yeah, alkaline water. And then Medley's like, I need tequila and ginger ale. And then I traveled with 24 airplane bottle of Tito's.
Where did you get those,
You
by the
traveled
way?
with 24.
Maybe I had somebody pick them up as we were leaving, as I knew we were leaving for the tournament. Maybe I had somebody at my house to grab them.
Yeah.
And then so I threw them in my golf bag. So I had those. Wasn't expecting to really have the week last that long, so ran out of those. So then we had to go back to the liquor store and get a whole handle of Tito's. And then
this is actually a good story. What day was it? Sunday night after we got into match play. I think we'd expired all the little bottles and things like that. And we need booze, but it's like it's a dry county, right? On Sunday. On Sunday you can't buy booze. So we're like, damn, this is a problem. How are we gonna get something? You can't even get anything. Didn't we get the Uber driver? Uber driver, the Postmates driver. We ordered some food late to the house, some Chick-fil-A, and we text her like, yo, if you can get a bottle of Tito's, we'll take good care of you. And sure enough, the chick shows up with a brand new bottle of Tito's with the Chick-fil-A. That was the only way we could find booze. You couldn't get it on a Sunday.
In the South, it's tough.
Yeah. It was
I called her. I said, I'll give you $100 if you find a bottle of Tito's. She was like, do you care what the size is? I was like, just Tito's.
That'd have been great if she'd have shown up with an airplane bottle.
Damn.
Payment.
Deal's a deal.
Yeah. Gotcha. Where'd y'all stay? How was the lodging situation? Did y'all room together?
I booked my hotel late. They were already all booked on it, so I booked it literally in the airport. I think in Dallas. I got really lucky to get in that same hotel. It was like a Courtyard Marriott down on that strip. There was a bunch of the USGA people were staying in there. Nice little joint. We didn't bunk up like college days.
Okay.
Now that we're mid-30s, it's like dudes need a little bit of space in there. Yeah, and then we had to shuffle with the car because they teed off. Weren't they separate waves than us, Medley and?
Well, no, but they were like 2 hours before us.
Yeah, so they were going way early.
You weren't doing that.
Not trying to do that. Yeah. So yeah, we got our stuff and then Uber. We asked some USGA dudes for a ride. Actually, I think they were going to give it to us, but they were leaving earlier too, and we're like, we'll just Uber. So we Ubered down there.
All right,
we were late the first day. That was super nice because we've been running around, scrambling, waking up.
There's a common theme
I took him to the airport, or I took him to the golf course, and then I brought the car back.
Yeah, you took him. I slept like a mother, dude. I slept like a 10-piece straight through that night. Needed a little recharge.
But then we keep extending our hotel because these are the things. My wife knows nothing about golf, and so I'm like, hey, I'm playing this tournament. She's like, when are you gonna be back? I'm like, sometime between Tuesday and Sunday, depending on how I play. She's like, how does that work? I'm like, it's just too. I was like,
don't worry about it. I'll be back when I'm back.
Yeah. The later, the better I'm doing. If I'm back early, I'll be mad.
Oh, dude, trying to explain the difference between going from I was like, so there's 2 rounds of stroke play, then you get seeded, and then after that it goes into match play, and if you're playing one separate team, and if they beat you, you lose, you go home. Trying to explain that to my wife was like explaining hieroglyphics to her. I was like, dude, just I'll call you when we lose, and I'll come home right after that. Probably.
I'm 100% sure my wife's gonna listen to this. And at the Mid-Am last year, at those USGA events, she came out and it was in Nantucket, and at the end of every hole they announce, Knost 3, Kittleson 4, Knost 2 up, and Hoops is out there following my match, and my wife's there, and they would be like, Kittleson 2 up, and she would go to Hoops and be like, how's it going?
What's the score?
Is that good?
Is he 2 over?
I was like,
God, he sucks.
They just said exactly what's happening. They still can't get it.
No, dude.
So, and then you show up Saturday morning, getting ready to start stroke play. Y'all have a caddy. I heard he's double bagging it, right?
Dude's a monster.
Tell me about this caddy.
Kitty, tell him. This dude deserves everything.
Yeah. However my feet feel, I can't even imagine how this dude. So he's double
hard. Yeah.
Oh, dude, this other course was hilly.
Yeah. So this dude's name's Chino. Shout out Chino. Mm-hmm. So I'm playing the National with Chance Holmes. He's like, and I'm dealing during the practice round. I'm not even hardly playing this practice round. I'm just trying to change my whole life around to go to Birmingham. And so we're doing our thing, and he's like, I know a guy who's a member at Shoal Creek. I'll hit him and see if he can find you a caddy. I was like, done. Because we're not going to carry our own bag around.
And I ain't pushing.
88. I'm not
just
pushing.
out of principle.
Yeah.
There was a lot of pushing going on out there. I was like,
That's changed a lot. That
can't do it. Even the young kids were pushing, dude.
Dude, you go out to the NCAAs here at Greyhawk right now, you'll see half the field with push carts. You never used to see that.
Never. We played a lot of dudes that push, and there's a ton of guys out there pushing. I was like, I ain't pushing.
No
I'm either
respect.
looping my own thing or we're getting somebody.
So we get this.
Chino.
Yeah,
Chino.
Chance hooks me up with the Shoal Creek guy. He's a caddy at Shoal Creek. He caddies on the Corn Ferry Tour. Then, so Tyson Alexander, who came down to Birmingham to caddy for Tim McKinney and Will Strickler, they were all college teammates. He hit me on the side and he was like, "Hey," he's like, "How do you have that caddy? He's always on the Corn Ferry Tour." And so he's like a totally legit caddy, and he's double bagging it. And we got hooked up through the guy at Shoal Creek, and he was awesome. I can't even imagine double bagging. And I very rarely waited. We hit obviously plenty of foul balls. It's like, and sometimes I'm a little ahead of sleeves on the tee shot.
Yeah, it was close. He was like 5 yards in front, so it got tricky.
So I'm like waiting, and he was incredible. Love the guy.
Did he know the golf course pretty well?
He had never seen it.
Never seen it. So y'all both are going out there. All three of you are going out there blind in the stroke play.
So I was like, practice round. I was like, but dude, it's gonna be here's a par 4. If you hit it in the fairway, you probably and there's the hole. Like, I'm not a big practice round guy anyway. I don't feel like only reason I like practice rounds is just hang out, gamble, have fun with. Like, I don't really like hitting extra putts around the hole. Like, I'm not gonna remember. Oh, this one was a half a ball for more than I thought. You know what I mean? But then after the first round, we had Chino. He was a beast, obviously. And then there were kids of members and some other guys like, hey, yo, you need another guy, like we'll grab a bag. But the energy was just, it felt dialed with Chino.
Right.
Chino, and I was a big energy dude, didn't want to mess it up. I was like, Chino, if you're good going double, let's just keep this thing going. So he went the whole week. He got taken care of good, but he was a monster. And he's a real caddy. Like I said, he'd be like, yo, all right, 131 front, 41 hole. You got it all the way to 52 to the back edge. I think it's playing this. Like, he was a real.
He had all the elevation.
He's caddies for all the South American, like, Corn Ferry guys. He's been with all the dudes down there.
Here's a ball for a provisional.
Here, hit this again. I think that one's in the shit.
First one's a tiles 3.
Your third putt's probably good, so don't even worry about it.
All right, so y'all shoot 130 in stroke play. You're the number 9 seed. Things are going well. Cruising to match play. You get put up against a man named Ramsey and Slutsky in the first match. Sleazy and the Slut.
Big slut.
That was
in
the first
house.
match?
Yeah.
Was that round 1?
Slutsky
dude.
was the first match.
Did I not come up to you, like, I think the first moment I saw you, I had gotten like all my registered and done all the stuff, and because his name was it was in the locker room. That's where I saw it because it was like close to ours.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, there's a guy whose last name is Slutsky in this field. That's so unbelievable. I was like, oh my god, what a great name. Sure enough, we get paired up against him in the first round. So he was a nice dude. We talked, we talked a little bit,
slut all day?
and then like on like hole 7 or 8, I was like, hey, dude, and his friends, he had some people out there watching him and his partner and stuff. Anytime he had a good shot, like, good shot, slut, and I was like, this is unbelievable. It feels like you're getting away with something.
But not as a joke.
No, it's
like
just real.
They're homies, so he was like, nice sluts.
Yeah.
Hey, good one, slut.
Let's get him, slut, you big slut, you enormous slut. It was awesome.
Did you try to recruit him for the radio show?
I was like, I love you, dude. Dude, you got the name
Slutty
for
and the
radio.
Sleazy?
Oh my god, that'd be incredible.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
What was it like for y'all? I mean, you've played a number of USGA events. You're a runner-up at the US Amateur. I know y'all don't play a lot of tournament golf nowadays. What were the nerves like heading into match play? Were there any?
You want to go?
I think it was exciting because, like the three of us go play like we do. It's just the shit talking and like, oh, you suck and, all this stuff. And that like level of, because it wasn't about money or anything. It was, even if we're playing for a lot of money, we still want to win. But there's just like a different approach because it's not for money and we were trying. And we had never really played that type of, even in our mini tour days, we never really got paired together or anything. So I had never really played with him in that type of atmosphere. And it was super fun to kind of play something that we care about. We joked a little bit. We're like, in our lives, in our like stupid lives now that we don't do golf stuff, I was like, this is kind of like, this and like
the USGA.
This is the lights. This is what we kept saying.
This is the bright lights. I was like, this is the lights, dude. We're not like gonna play in the US
Yeah,
Open.
you ain't in the US Open. This is, we always talk about like, we don't like the lights. We're like, this is the lights. This is our lights right here. And it was fun to like actually just like kind of, I hadn't played with nerves in I mean, dude, 7 years. You know what I mean? Since I stopped playing, I play at Whisperock. I played 2-man pro scratches. I played twin fin, that type of stuff, and they're fun. You try to win and all that, but like I didn't play anything that was just like, here's a tournament, no money, no nothing, just go play. And it was fun to just spin the glove on the first team. Like, all right, dude. And I got a partner, so it's a little less like, you're not adding them up and all that. At the
first hole though, nobody in that entire field plays the first hole worse than us.
I believe that.
Zero people.
Nobody. I think. Let's say I don't know how many.
Y'all won in the final. I mean, we'll get to it eventually. But in the finals, y'all won the first hole.
Yeah,
that was the only. So we played that hole. I don't know how many times.
14. We either hit 14 or 16 tee shots on that hole because we played it like 7 times, counting stroke play and all the matches in, and then extra holes in the final.
Okay, so 16 tee shots.
Yeah.
With a 4-iron and a hybrid, 1 fairway. And the 1 fairway I hit was in the finals, and then I stacked it to like a foot.
I was reading.
Should have done that more.
Yeah, I should hit the fairway.
I was reading the interview, the whole breakdown afterwards on the USGA website, and it said when y'all went to extra holes in the finals, both of you missed the fairway, and it said which was a common theme for this team throughout the whole week.
Yeah, on that hole.
Especially on that hole.
On that hole, we could not get through that hole. I've been missing it, but I've been missing it left, which like you can play from over there. Like I had good looks at tweet multiple, like I had 10 feet, 12 feet and in numerous times from over there. So I was just like, all right, left is okay, especially with where that pin was on the front right. I was like, if anything, left. I just was a little too.
One of the matches I hit it right down the middle of the fairway, like I was first shot, and I was like, I did it, and it bounces 90 degrees right and rolls into the rough.
I said something in the air. I was like, we did it.
We were like, we did it, and then it still didn't hit the fairway.
Yeah.
What was like the reaction when y'all walk onto the range? Because there's 2 guys coming down, shirts untucked, got a crooked visor on, high socks, carrying cocktails. What was the reaction from the other players when y'all were coming to the range each day?
I don't know if everybody knew what was in the Yeti, you know what I mean? Because other dudes were carrying around like water bottles and stuff. I'm pretty sure it was water. I don't know. Maybe they had the same thing going on. But like,
also
the people that know us knew and all that, you know what I mean? And we know, like, I didn't know a ton of the guys, honestly. I think I saw some familiar faces. I was like, oh, that guy, I played college against that guy. Or, oh, that's Jicky Jacks, played against that dude. But, I mean, everybody kind of goes about it differently. Like, some teams are like, this is the Masters, and you're showing up, and it's all. But and then there's some guys that were like a little bit more like us.
Well, and then the high school and the college kids, they got the parents on the bag caddying, and they're like, I mean, they are.
God, let's not play these 2 drunken guys.
I mean, they are.
Look at these 2 losers going down it.
Yeah.
And then they see Kitty hit a driver, and they're like, okay, never mind. Like, maybe we don't want. Yeah, we definitely don't want these.
Were you off the deck all week? Kitty hits, for those that don't know, Drew Kittleson normally just makes a ground tee and sends driver.
Yeah. So this week, not that much, honestly. Only because I was hitting it pretty straight. And then I just, in that format, I thought, oh, man, I'll just try to, like, smash it way up there. I was hitting it so
You hit
far.
more off the tee up in the air than I've seen, like, out here in a long time.
Yeah.
And then when you did peg it, like, you were just pegging it, like, super low.
Yeah, it
the
wasn't
grass
good,
is so
like,
different.
it wasn't
dude.
good,
It's
like,
not good.
kicking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd have a broken toe.
Country Club of Birmingham doesn't quite have the turf Whisperock has.
No. Sorry, Greg. Every time I play with him, I'm like, dude, sorry.
Sorry, man. Sorry about this massive crater I just put in your tee box. I love it. You go on to the second round. You play a guy named Blanton and Terry. So you've gone through 2 rounds. You dust Blanton and Terry. You beat a slut and you beat a drunk Blanton. Mm-hmm. I mean, how perfect
Slutsky was perfect. That Slutsky match got close. That was the one that came down to the wire. Yeah, that was the we played museum on 17. That was a big one. We were kind of like not playing all that great in the first match. Like, dude, we got to do something. We were square terrible. With 2 left. Yeah, we weren't making tweets. We were just par. Like, every hole was tied with pars. Couldn't make tweets. And then finally 17 happened. And then that second match, that was the match, if I'm remembering, was that the 4-3 or something like that? Yeah. That was the one where we both played good golf. And it was up in the morning. It was softer.
A little shout out here because on 17, I think the match was even.
We were even, and they had
the first match y'all were even.
Yeah, that's the first.
Yeah, and he had like 12-footer like just off the right side, like straight uphill. He had a great shot in there. The other guy, and I don't know what I was doing, but not having a birdie putt that it was inside his, and he was off the green from like 35 feet,
30 feet, yeah.
But it had to go through like 5 feet of French, and he just hooped it. And then our caddy Chino, because he speaks Spanish, he kept El Museo because I named Sleaze's putter the museum.
Don't worry, we've heard about it a million times on the
that's
show.
the originator.
Yeah, I was the one who coined it. But and so he goes, hey, vamos El Museo. It was so
all
funny.
week and never even say it in Spanish. I was like, yes, I have to make this.
Yeah, it was so great.
Well, then y'all get a piece of the number 1 seed.
Yeah, dude. They're good players. I know those guys.
And this one went down to the wire as well. One up. Y'all had some stressful matches.
We did have some stressful. That second one was the one I think we both played good golf. I bet you if we go back, we both made 4 or 5 birdies, and I bet we only overlapped one time. I bet we were at least 8 under through 15 holes, and it was kind of like he played all he plays. I play. I don't know. We got done with that. I was like, we do that every time. We're tough. Somebody's gonna have to make.
I mean, we were 6. I know we were 6 under through 9.
We shot 30 on the front, and then we made multiple more on the back before the thing was done. So we were probably like 8 under. Or something like that. Then we get to that match. I know these dudes. They both played in Canada. They're good players. I think they've made deep runs in this thing. One of them's like still playing a bunch of stuff. US Open. He goes to sectionals every year. He's tight with Torrey plays at Virginia Country Club, so he's tight with Malley and all the dudes from Virginia and all those guys. That's a really good team. I think they made deep runs in that. So going to that match, I was like, this is a real deal. And yeah, they were the 1 seed. Yeah.
Yeah, they were the number 1
seed. Yeah,
seed.
they were 1 seed. I was like, we're gonna have to. This for the third match, like this is one of the squads right here, and they're good players. Yeah. Good players.
Which match was it where the USGA official called you out for not helping Kitty at all?
Stroke play, qualifier in the stroke.
Oh, that
play.
was stroke play.
Yeah, that was in the stroke play. I made one tweet. Kitty tweeted it too, and then the rest was just like I made bogues and pars, and then Kitty made all the tweets and parred the holes that I made bogue on. I was like. I don't think I've really counted.
From my sources, what I was told was, y'all get in there, and the USG official's adding up. He's like, wait, Drew, you shot 67, so did your team. And he looked at you and said, so you didn't help at all.
Yeah, I was like, thanks, shitbird. I'm fully aware.
Nice, thanks.
Oh, that was in stroke play the second day.
That's incredible.
He's verbalizing it, and then as he's saying it, he's like, whoa. So you didn't do... Oh, sorry.
I was like,
but
really,
he goes, just do it. Just say it. He goes, sorry, but you didn't.
Yeah,
you didn't help one time.
I said on the tweet because I think I was first in, and he had like a short putt for birdie. I was like, "That's mine, dog. That's my tweet. That's first in. That thing counts, bro." Write that.
That was
under my name. Yeah, 9. I was like, "That's me."
Yeah,
I love it. So y'all play the 36 hole day. You're on to the semis the next morning. All of a sudden, you're starting to do interviews. There's videos circulating. You're the buzz of the PGA Championship in Tulsa. What was the night like getting ready for the finals? Y'all had to move hotel rooms, I too believe. Correct?
Yeah, because we kept just going one night at it. Like, all right, we need to extend. And then we show up like we need to extend. Like, we don't have any. We're like, what? So we had to pick up all our shit, throw it in the van and all that. We're like, all right, we'll figure it out when we get done.
Go to another hotel and then another hotel.
Yeah, everything in something was going down in Behan.
Birmingham was popping.
It was popping, and
dude,
there was no room.
The worst traffic ever for. Not the biggest city in the world.
We only stayed in like a 2-mile radius from where we were. But yeah, we had to pack up all our stuff, get in there, go through that. But like just leading into it, that's when, you make match play later, you win a match or two. It's like some, your close friends like, yeah, let's go and all that stuff. But then it started getting like more and more people. Like I'd come back to my phone after I just turned it off basically or left it alone. Pretty much the whole day, and you come back and you got a bazillion, you got a couple hundred text messages, and then you look at Instagram, you start getting them from like tour players and all these guys. I'm like, just boys of ours, but I'm like, damn, people are actually kind of paying attention to this.
I'm walking up and down the range there at Southern Hills, and Max pulls me aside. He's like, how's it stand? Dustin Johnson was like, dude, I heard Sleaze is like making a run. Like, what's going on?
Is that your DJ impression?
Yeah, that was good. That was actually
not bad.
Good. Yeah.
I'll be honest, Tiger.
What else did he say?
Tiger didn't ask. Tiger did not ask.
Tiger wasn't into it. He was watching on the sly.
But I'm doing the radio show live from the range there. Everyone's asking about it. We're doing updates throughout every single show. By the way, we haven't done a show together in like 2 weeks.
We mean you.
Hey, Michael Collins, come join me once in a while. That'd be great, Drew. But y'all, seriously, there was so much talk going around the PGA Championship about this run y'all are on. And then we get to the finals, and y'all are 2 up through 2 early. You're 2 up through 8 again. I'm walking around there in practice rounds, and I swear to God, every single group, somebody would ask me, like, are they winning? What's going on? I'm like, dude, they're 2 up through 8. They're like, holy shit, they're actually going to do this. Like, Sleaze is about to be even more unbearable.
Oh my God, could you imagine?
that was the common theme. Sleaze was going to be even more unbearable. But it was really, really cool to see all these guys getting ready for a major championship talking about you two.
It was nuts, dude. I mean, like, what was your phone looking like? I mean, I was getting,
crazy.
It was like Max, all our close friends from here, obviously. But then I was like, guys I don't talk to all that much. I think JT reached out, talked to him once in a while. Ricky Fowler was sending messages and all this type of stuff. I was like, God, people are actually looking at this stuff right now. The media guy, that's when I started kind of knowing the USGA guy was like, this thing's getting like a lot of traction right now.
Dude, they're tagging me and shit saying all these things. So I'm like, why are you bringing me into this?
No, you're part of it, dude. That's the brand. That's the brand.
God, it was great. The video y'all did before you went out for the finals. So,
was it like
you can't call me runner up anymore and all this. Now you're gonna do it.
I'm still
I
around.
was at like 5:30 in the morning, by the way, too, that interview. We were teeing off at 7:10.
How was the body feeling going into the semifinals and the finals after y'all played a lot of golf, then a 36-hole day for the 2 matches? Then you have to be up early for the semifinals and the finals. What was the body feeling like?
I can't speak for Kat. Not great.
Not good.
The feet were hurting. I had some blisters working, all the stuff we mentioned. And just getting up that early and just running it back. When you look at like how long those matches start taking, and the deeper you get, the more it's like, all right, you calling your partner. What do you see in this putt? What club you like here? There's more like conversation on everything. The rounds were taking forever.
Y'all's final match, I felt like took 7
It was
hours.
the slowest round in the history of golf.
There all of a sudden became this group text between all the Whisper Rock members, all these. Medley had a guy from Birmingham sending us videos of shots throughout the day. Also, one, we need to talk to the USGA. Apparently, they don't have bathrooms around Birmingham, Country Club of Birmingham, because there's one of you pissing in the bushes, looking over your shoulder while Kittleson's hitting an iron shot. I mean, there is all kinds of stuff.
I gotta go, dude.
But but we're seriously, all of us are like, this round has been going on for 6 hours, and they're on 14. Like, what the hell's taking so long?
It was the slowest round of golf I ever played.
Just full grind
and
mode,
you're
or
dragging ass. It got real windy in that afternoon, so it was playing tougher, bouncier. Guys are hitting shittier. You're on your 7th round in 5 days. You're more nervous than you've been. The golf course got harder, and it was just. And like I said, like I said this going in the week, I was like, dude, let's not do the whole you read every putt I hit. I see that in the Ryder Cup all the time. You're a great player. You're a great putter. I never read any of your putts. You make a lot of putts. Same for me. I never have anyone else read them. I putt pretty good. And then sure enough, like you get into it, and it's like, hey, what do you like? I like right edge. No, I like half a ball. Like, well, let's go look the others. It's just a long ass.
Well, also,
round.
I feel like, too, with in the morning, because people would ask me, they're like, man, like, did you guys not play good in the afternoon, even if we won or whatever? Mm-hmm. But, in those USGA championships, it's like you can get it until like 10 o'clock in the morning. But by then, all the dew's gone and the wind picks up and everything just gets all crusty and like hard. And it's just hard to hit. When it's blowing 20 and the greens are super hard and they're super fast, like Colonial yesterday, like you just can't hit it close enough, like to make birdies, and so it just gets harder. And then you don't chip it up to gimmies. You chip it every chip and putt goes to like 4 feet, so then you don't get any concessions, and you're just like the grind just never stops.
If you miss fairways out there, and that was the most wind we saw in that afternoon match, like dude, you couldn't. It was like, where can I miss? Where's the, because you just couldn't hold it. It was just those leapers. I mean, Kat was like pulling clubs. He's like, I think I can hit wedge like 210 right now out of this slide, because it was like just those fluffy ones, but it's never coming down. And exactly for all those reasons, like there's just you're not just fairway stack, either make birdie or miss it and concede it.
Also,
it's like everyone's just grinding.
Is like the USGA that week, and I don't think, because there's so much, you do different things in that format, right? You like, I'll have him go for it, or I'll have him lay up on a par 5, and then so that way I can go. And so like you play out of turn, and just because of the strategy aspect of it. Yeah, and like Medley and Wood, they putt like whoever's closest. If somebody's got like something inside 5 feet for birdie and the other guy's got 30 feet, they have the 5-footer go first. And so like all of this random stuff.
That's probably why they didn't fucking win.
Yeah.
That's a terrible idea.
That's what I said. And they're like, hey, we do this. And him and I were like,
well, you've never won, so that doesn't work.
Yeah. Well,
and just that walk, dude, around that golf course is like, you're up hills and then you're backwards 70 yards to the tee. Then you're gassed and you sit there for a minute like, I got to catch my breath. And then dude, there's a couple holes where like we all get back there, like, can we just get like can we get a 20-second time out here? Like everyone's just, it's just a haul around there.
We had this guy we were playing. This kid was watching, and it was that guy the lefty in the and
Torrey.
He paid this like 7-year-old kid because he had a push cart, and he was like, "Hey, I got to go hit. I'll give you $5 or $10 or something if you just push this cart over there.
Push it up
like a spectator."
Yeah.
And then the poor kid ate shit.
Dude, he was going up, pushing it like this, like up in front of him, and it's a steep ass hill. That's what I'm talking about. And his feet came out from under him, and like literally face on the ground. And then the club started dumping out on top of him. So like me and the other dude would run over, like, "Oh yeah, you're okay." But he felt so, and then he did it. He slipped again. I was like,
the hill's like
poor
this,
kid.
How did y'all go about the process of refilling your Yetis?
Are we gonna like incriminate ourselves?
No,
is this self-incrimination?
First off, it's no secret that y'all were boozing the whole time. I ran into one of the guys that was there.
Okay.
At the PGA, he was an official, I think, at the PGA that actually played in the 4-ball, and came up to me and said he met y'all, and he's like, "No one was having more fun. Everyone knew y'all were boozing."
Okay.
So it's not
the cat's out of the bag.
Well, and also like people like other players were like going into the grill and coming out with those like green Country Club of Birmingham cups. Like,
oh yeah, the dudes we played stroke play with, who we know are great dudes, by the way. Like we had we got a lightning deal, and they like came in and came out with like double tequilas. I was like, now we're freaking golfing. Now we're golfing. But so we had a little. We fill it up in the morning in the van. Yeah. Big. I mean, these things are diesel. These are big old Yetis or whatever. It's like 2x plus that. Okay. It's big. It's got like the handle on top. You know what I mean? So we'd fill that up. I'd have the biggest super transfuge of all time. He's transfusion, and we'd fill a empty like Ozarka or whatever water bottle with vodka. Throw that in the bag. So it just looks like, and then be like, all right, we'd hit on a hole. They're walking up like, yo, we need a little freshie. Little freshie, but we didn't bring ginger ale and grape juice because you can't carry everything. No, so they had these like, they're called biofuel. They're like Gatorade type deals or whatever. So then that became like the mixer after that. But you get done or you get low and be like, I need a little dabble. Be like, it's in the big pocket.
You just make it happen.
All right, well, to the finals because y'all got off to the nice start. You're 2 up through 2. Then it goes back to square. You're 2 up through 8. Sleaze, you didn't quite have the energy, or maybe your dauber was down a little bit, but then you get to the 8th, and you got a 40-footer for birdie. Yeah. And I heard when it was about 10 feet out, your first words of the day were, "Who did it hurt, Cat?"
That was it. Is this a true story? I've gone
fact. Underground for 3 or 4 holes. Starting, by the way, we got 2 up. He made birdie on 1. We win. I was only par on 2. Yep. We win. Tie 3. And then 4, we both bogey a par 5, both in the water, which I didn't know Cat's ball was in the water in our defense. Then we bogey again. So we just gave them 2 with pars or whatever. That's when I came to you. I was like, dude, I'm feeling like weird right now. Like I think I need to eat something or drink something. So I sat back on that tee and just pounded a bunch of water. I think I was dehydrated, honestly, from drinking. It's hot as shit, and all I'm doing is drinking trannies all day.
Can't quite figure
out.
I
had like a 3-hole stretch of just like blow it down there, miss the green, chip, miss. Cat was holding us down with pars and all this stuff, and I was just pounding waters on every tee, trying to get back leveled up. And then 8, finally, I scraped some trash iron up there to 40 feet or whatever, but I hit that putt, and I was like feeling bad. I was like, I got to do something. Like my guy Cat's on an island right now. And that's like Cat's line. He likes to say, "Who would it hurt? Who would it hurt?"
I heard it was like 10 feet out.
Oh, it was deep out, but it had a good feel.
Way out. Museum. It was not close.
That pin was a tough ass pin too. So where they were all putting from, it's like you could putt it off the fringe. I mean, you put it on the fringe from there, and then finally that thing went in. I was like, we freaking go. I was feeling real good at that point. Like, all right, everything's.
When we had the dirtiest halve of all time on 7, like the most ridiculous halve. You were like
they were going 1 up for sure. I was like, I hit in the trees, tried some. That's during the darkness stretch, and Cat blew it way over the green into the mulch.
Yeah.
He was like 1 foot in the mulch, ball below, standing on his head. Bermuda light all slopes down away from him. I was like, God damn, we're gonna give him the 3rd hole. We hadn't made a bogey the whole week, like as a team, basically. And
we were like, 1 up there.
We're gonna give him 3. Yeah, we were 1 up. Sorry, we're gonna go to even. I was like, we're gonna give him 3 holes with par on the front 9 of this thing. We haven't made a bogey the entire week. And then Cat hit this just ridiculous, the best shot of the week. I mean, that thing was disgusting.
The guys we were playing with was like, and the guys we were playing was like, I shouldn't do this. He's like, but nice shot.
Yeah. That was really nice. All right, you're 1 up with 1 to play. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I know things are probably, the heart rate's going up a little bit. Have a very good chance to get this thing done. They clutch up. I mean, you got to give props
tip
to them.
of the cap, dude.
They hit it to 8
By the
feet.
way, it was sick. And like the pin there, it was downwind. It was super tough pin location. We talked about on the first tee. We're like, we got to make him make tweet.
Make him be a hero. Yeah. That was the thing. I was like, dude, make him be a hero. Par, like if somebody clutches up and it's a hard hole, it's like 450 or 60 or 70 or something like that. Make him be a hero. And damned if he didn't.
Went in there 8 feet. I mean, because the other guy had already missed, so it was down to this 1 putt.
Yeah.
How much were you willing that thing out of the hole?
I mean, dude, I was standing there. I was looking at Cat. Like he had just seen 2 putts on like a similar line. I was like, he knows the read. Like it's inside left all day, but. It's a putt for everything. There's a bunch of people around. It's a final hole. You got to make it to extend. I was like, I've seen a lot better players miss a lot shorter putts. You know what I mean? Like, this thing ain't done. I don't care if you could say exactly where it's going. You still got to hit the putt, and he freaking rolled it right in the middle. That was a tip. That was just one of those things like, dude, that's props. Like, good job. That's hard to do.
And then we're going to extra holes, and you go to the first. Was there any moment where y'all were like, hey, can we maybe pick another hole? Let's not go to the
I thought we were going to 18.
I wanted to go to 18 so bad.
And you go to the first, and y'all both missed the fairway, correct?
Yeah. I high out to the right.
Cat hits it out to the right, and from the tee, it looks like
you're dead.
No shot. I was like, shit. So I've been aiming down the left all day. I was like, well, I'm for sure not going right because right's dead. Aiming down the left, of course, double cross, trying to hit a little bleeder, hit a pulley hook, way left. But I'm like, it's fine. Left is fine all day, especially. And I was like, that might be so far left. I got no stress. Cat has to pitch out. I get down there. I got really no shot. I got to go at the middle of the green and hope it can hold, which it didn't. Went over, and they both gutted it down the fairway. I'm like, we're about to lose to another. We got to get up and down. Like, Cassidy, they're going to have to get up and down.
You got way too ahead of yourself. Y'all had inside of 10 feet, both of you, for par.
Yeah. He had a good wedge in there, 10 feet,
Yeah.
and I had to clip.
You
I
had
had
a great chip.
Chip
I
that in the
saw
water all
video.
day. That was about as close as you're going to get. And I had an easy putt. I mean, neither of the putts were hard.
No.
Neither of them.
And then you both end up missing. Is it still known as the museum, even though it didn't come through in the
Still,
clutch?
I mean, it just closed. It's just it closes at 7, and I was like 7:05 by the time it hit that putt. It shuts down at 7.
7 to 7.
7 to 7 is the only time it's open.
That's when the Louvre is open.
Closed down.
Gotcha.
It closed down right there. And by the way, I found this out this past week at Colonial. So I'm sitting there on the putting. Zalatoris comes up and was like talking about, hey, dude, good run, all this stuff. He's like, you lost to my money manager.
Ugh.
Chad, the one that made the tweet on 18, manages Will's money. I was like, well, you were making $1 million that freaking week. Shouldn't homeboy be in the office getting that to work for you? What's he doing to take your time out? You got to find a new guy, man.
Well, that ended on Tuesday or
Yeah,
Wednesday.
I know, but he was in the
Hadn't even
process.
started
He
yet.
was just started. But
He
he
can get
needs
there
to be
in time.
in there, getting ready for the
Money don't sleep.
huge
true.
7-digit deposits.
I know y'all wanted to win. Obviously, that was the goal. But what was the feeling like when you knew it was all over?
Brutal.
Devastating. It was devastating. Because it'd been easier to lose like 5 and 4.
Yeah.
Than because we were up the whole time.
You never trailed until it was over.
Yeah, never trailed, and there's a couple like that. I could have easily birdied that par 4, that semi-drivable one. But it's just
I had a
golf.
good
It's just
look
hard.
on 16, the one up over the, where the pin was back over the hill. I had a 12-footer or something like that. That could easily go in. 17, I had a look.
Did y'all know
Could've gone
everything
in.
that comes with if you won? Did y'all know everything you get?
No
I did
idea.
not know. No.
So,
no
first
idea.
off, I also reached out. Robbie Zalznick, I'm going to hate on you for a second, who's a big wig over at the USGA. I asked him going into the semis, I was like, hey, what happens if they win? And he's like, it's a 10-year exemption into the 4 ball. I was like, that's it? No AM, nothing? He's like, no. Well, later, come to find out, after some research, you would have gotten into the US AM. You would have also gotten into the US Mid AM,
Yeah.
which basically, one of y'all would have probably won one of those and gone on to Augusta National and all this. I mean,
Valid.
how much more did that hurt afterwards, knowing you could have been in the AM, the Mid AM, and all that?
I had no clue about that till afterwards. I think the awards ceremony when they said that. I was like, damn. The AM is one thing. Like, am I going to fly to New Jersey to get not playing much golf to go get my head kicked by some kid from Georgia?
Yeah,
I don't know that I need that. Maybe I would do it. But the Mid AM, I'm like, that's a real, like, I'd go compete in that thing.
The Mid-Ams, I actually have a bet with our good friend Jamie Stowitz on you winning the Mid-Am within the next 5 years.
Yeah.
That's a good bet.
I'm still doing the
I'd like to lever up on that too.
I'm
The
still
thing
doing
that
the
hurt,
qualifier.
dude, was that after the whole week is like we lost to a par. If they go 18 tip of the cap, that's a hell of a birdie, dude. He hit 2 great shots, about as close as you, and then he makes the putt. What are you gonna do? Great job to you. If they go and do that again on the first hole and stack it, and they probably played a little safer because we were, not hitting it close. Like, you go get beat and you lose to a birdie, it's one thing. Like, hey, good job. But when you just
Well, and we had both of us
them-
had 2 putts. Like,
and they're good players.
One
like,
of us should have made
100%. Like, they're good players. You can't just give holes with pars. The winning, win with pars.
Well,
that's what hurt, is that we lost. We both made bogey, which until the championship match, I'm not sure. Maybe we had 1 on the card the whole week. Like, we didn't make bogeys. That was like our,
Well, the
strength.
good news is you did finish runner-up. You got a silver medal. You also get into the next 3 USGA Four Balls, which I'll go ahead and tell you right now, it's at Kiowa next year. So if you want to book your flights, book your hotels or anything,
Go ahead and
talk
dial
about
that. Yeah.
go ahead and get that. You should stay at the Sanctuary. It's beautiful.
Ah, that place is sick.
It is so sick.
Super nice.
But seriously, guys, it was awesome to keep up with. Y'all were seriously the talk of the PGA Championship earlier in the week. It was a lot of fun to watch. Congrats on a great week, and thanks for sitting down with us.
We're coming.
We're
We
coming.
coming
We're
next year.
coming.
We don't get. By the way, what'd you do with your silver medal, dude?
Yeah, so my silver medal, I have no idea where it is.
Great.
We
And
lost them.
Neither does he.
I think we left them.
I think we left them at
when
the
we were
golf
sitting
course.
up there having a few with Stanger after the, and then we just walked out. And I was like, I'm too embarrassed to even call him. But like, hey guys, did you happen to find 2 boxes with the silver medal in it?
As much as it
So
pains me a little
I think they're
bit,
gone.
as much as it pains me a little bit to give Sleaze a compliment, like him walking around this place and with your guys' success of this podcast has been like, you guys have a lot of fans in the golf community. So if next 3 years when we play this thing, if you come up and tell Sleaze that you're a listener and you think that I'm rude to you, Like, it's just because I don't want you to just keep sucking them off. Like, it's okay, dude. Don't stop.
No, don't stop that, dude. I appreciate it all. We love every single person. I said I've talked to tons of people down there. I love everybody.
And also, like,
Cat was super rude to him.
Yeah, well, I'm just like,
hey, don't piss our fans off.
Yeah, dude. No, it's for the brand.
You guys just, like, it's a big. You guys have an incredible following, but also, and it's not. I'm not hating on any of the other golf podcasts, but like, I think sometimes how it's sold is that like he's like a washed up like Jicky Jack player, which he is.
That's because I sell it like that.
But like,
the exact description.
I hope because some people have come to me and been like, oh, like Sleaze just got on your back, I'm sure, and you made 100 tweets. I'm like, no, like he contributed, and he's still to this day, even though he doesn't play like as much as he's still a really good golfer, and I think that gives a lot of credibility to your guys' show and stuff because he's not just some like guy that played for 2 years and now sells insurance and like never really had any game because he contributed more than I think people are giving him credit for.
I sell myself as the why. I will shit on my game more than anyone, and I'm fine with it. I'd rather do that than say like, oh yeah, I'm still a really good player or whatever. But like I said, when the lights come on, and those were the lights.
There's no chance we make the finals without you playing like you did. There's no chance.
Well, I expect y'all to be back there at Kiowa next year. Y'all should definitely win one of these at some point. You're a very talented team, and you can just, I mean, if it's going bad, just have Sleaze start wearing them out verbally.
I need to talk. That was one thing I said afterwards. I was like, I used to talking shit and bullshit and all this stuff. And like,
I couldn't believe you didn't.
Kitty hates even like interact. It was a handshake on the first tee and then don't even look at me for every person he plays.
Yep.
And I'm more like, yo, I want to chop. I feel like that's my thing. I like to talk to people. You know what I mean? Like the one match I did it with the one dudes that we 4-3. I was like, yeah, I need to do that more, but I also don't want to like go against what Kitty wants to just.
Oh, I don't care,
like,
but I wasn't. I just go by myself.
Yeah,
I just like start walking. Like if somebody's around and
I'm like, hey, bud, your name's Slutsky. That's pretty sweet. Tell me about that. Tell me about your family tree.
Well, guys, great run, Sleaze.
Respect, dude. Thanks for doing it. This was an honor and a privilege to be ask questions on
get interviewed on your own show.
Wait, I'm gonna bring this back for you. We're gonna maybe just dig deep into the archives.
I don't play anything anymore, so there's nothing you're gonna interview me on.
Because some sort of Shadow Creek 4-man scramble coming up. We'll probably get into
Congrats
that.
on the Shadow Creek member guest runner-up.
Yeah,
runner-ups are monsters. Silver is the new gold. This is what a lot of people
It's debatable that you rather win the member guest at the Shadow Creek than win the USGA Four Ball. You get a lot of coin for that one.
I'll take the Shadow Creek.
You could buy your way into some exemptions.
All right, boys, it's been fun. Thanks for joining us.
Love you, babe.
Thanks, guys.
Well, that was Sleaze and the Cat here on Golf Subpar. Devastating runner-up finish, but still a hell of a week. And I'm not fucking with y'all. Y'all seriously were the talk of the PGA Championship early in the week. So many players coming up. It was an awesome story. Really, really cool to follow along. Chino. Trying to bring y'all home. How devastated was Chino?
The Argentinian animal, dude. Chino sent me hit me on Instagram just a few days ago with a picture of the flag. No, I have his text too, but I was like, it just came up on Instagram, and he's got like the picture of the flag. He's like, can't believe we didn't get that thing done, man. I wanted this to be the trophy, I wanted this to be a gold medal and all that sort of stuff. I feel like we let him down, and all the text messages from the players. I mean, just everybody's like coming back to my phone at night. I can't imagine what these dudes go through when they win a golf tournament on the PGA Tour. Like, we'll text them like, hey, dude, want to hop on radio or podcast tomorrow? I'm like, dude, they have 700 because I was at 400, It was really cool to see the support that we were getting from a bunch of different people. And honestly, it felt like at the end when we lost, I was like, God, I feel bad. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, dude, there was a lot of people rooting for us. But we battled, and all things considered, showing up 3 days, we found out 3 days or whatever before we got in the field. It wasn't a whole lot of prep going on there. I'm glad we get in the next 3 because I think hopefully one of these times it clips.
And then you'll know it's coming. You can book your flights on time.
Arrive on time, maybe hit a bag of balls, maybe play a golf course or something, although I'm not big into those practice rounds anyways.
Well, it was a hell of a run and a lot of fun to watch. I know y'all will be back and contending for that thing next year out at Kiowa. And the PGA Tour is in full swing, and the best play to tee off is on FanDuel Sportsbook. Right now, new customers get $200 in free bets, guaranteed, when you place your first $5 bet. Just sign up with promo code SUBPAR. FanDuel is an official betting operator of the PGA Tour, so they'll have all your favorite bets to choose from. So we got all kinds of stuff to fire on. We got the NBA Finals coming up, Stanley Cup hockey, which the hockey's absolutely incredible. And this week, we're on to the Memorial, Jack's Place. First up, we got to talk about how we got our heart ripped out. We both were heavy on Davis Riley last week as our dark horse, going off around 48-1. And I started getting excited. I was texting producer Mark. I was like, because he took it. I was like, hey, you still got that buyout? What's that buyout out right now? When he had the lead going into 13, and then all hell broke loose.
Dude, I was like fist bumping him on Thursday and Friday. I was like, Dub, no disrespect, but I'm a little bit rooting for Davis right now. Like this would really help. If he continues to play like this, we're looking really good. So I have a little bit of a conflict of interest here. I'm rooting for you too, but if Davis plays well, and dude, Thursday, Friday, just rock solid. Just it's coming. It is definitely coming. But we say that with a lot of guys. But I was really impressed with this golf game.
Well, in our first week of our head-to-head FanDuel favorite bets of the week, I take the early 1-0 lead as Davis Riley, who is plus 126 over Tommy Fleetwood, hit your Wyndham Clark top 40 for plus 290-ish.
That was a nice clip too. When I saw the 290, I was like, dude, that's we make the cut. We're top 40 in it, and like 5 holes left. I was like, all right, we're done. We're gonna be right in the middle.
So you're down 100 to me through week 1.
Deal.
Let's go. Here we go to the Memorial. We'll get our favorite bets out to you later this week. But very strong field, no surprise. Some of the top players in the world are going to be there. It's one of the biggest non-majors of the year there at Muirfield Village. I'm going to be there all week for Golf Channel and CBS. And listen, the favorite, he's a co-favorite. He had his heart ripped out here last year. I mean, this tournament was over. He had a 6-shot lead, probably playing the best golf ever in his life, where I believe he was 18 under par through 3 rounds around this place, which I've played it. It is not that easy. 6-shot lead at the time, ends up getting disqualified for testing positive for COVID. John Rahm going off at 11 to 1. I mean, how do you not love that?
Hard not to hit that. And I was talking with a tour player this past week, and we got to talking about that rain. I was like, hey, you playing next week? And we got into talking about it. He's like, I think that's the best golf I've ever seen played on the PGA Tour since I became a pro. And the guy's been out there for a good while. He's like, that was a joke how hard that golf course was, what he was doing to it, and that lead. And also, he brought up a good point. It's like, that ended up changing the whole FedEx. Like, that didn't just cost him his whatever the winning check is for this week, 1.7, 1.8, whatever it was. He's like, Cantlay wins that thing after that, then and it comes down to those two in the FedEx Cup play. Like, and if he wins that, it changed the whole thing. He's like, that might have cost him $17 million that week, which is crazy when you think about it.
He should sue COVID.
He should, absolutely. Somebody should write him a check for 17 right now.
Who are you going with as a favorite?
All right, I'm going with a guy that I go with quite a bit, but it just has to click one of these times.
Can I guess?
Yeah, you know it.
Corey Connors?
No, but that's more of a... He's gone from like dark horse to like medium horse now, so he's hard to pick because he's not a favorite, but he's not like a long shot anymore. I'm going with Xander at 21 to 1. I mean, he won at the Zurich, 5th at the AT&T, 13th at the PGA, was playing pretty solid. I just feel like he's a lot like Patrick Cantlay, who obviously, knows how to win around this golf course. It's just A to B, solid, no weaknesses. It's a hard golf course, kind of plays... I don't know how Jack will have it set up. He doesn't like to see a whole lot of red digits being thrown around that place unless you're John Rahm last year, but
he actually made
it's just gotta happen on an individual at some point.
Yeah, I'm interested to see about Patrick Cantlay this week. I mean, shot 11 over at the PGA Championship, which was shocking.
I didn't think he was capable of shooting 11 over.
He thrives around Muirfield Village, so it'll be interesting to see what he brings this week. Dark horse, I'm going with a guy who hits it very far, hits it very high. I think iron play is key around Muirfield Village. You got to put it in the proper spots. Keegan Bradley, 65 to 1. Those are some nice odds.
65 is a lot. That's like beyond dark horse. That's like midnight horse there.
Well, it pays out nicely.
He's been playing some nice golf. Had a chance down there at TPC Potomac. I'm going to go with similar to last week when we went with Davis Riley on ours. He's teetering in like long shot range, but he's 35 to 1. A rook that I don't think is getting his just due this year. How well he's
not
played.
A dark horse.
5 top 5, 35 to 1. I mean, that's pretty.
I thought we normally go around 50,
pretty long odds.
I'll allow it.
5 top 5s on the year. All right, 3rd at RBC Heritage, 2nd at Wells Fargo, 3rd at the PGA Championship are his last 3.
I know
really good on tough tracks.
Why.
Yeah, exactly. Cameron Young, dude. I don't feel like he's getting enough pub for what he's done and he smashes it, hits it high. Was right there at the PGA till that little dub late in the game. He's the beast, and it's coming for him. That's the thing we keep saying, like, oh, this guy will win. This guy will win. There's so many of them, and you got all the established guys too. There's just not that many events for these guys to win.
All right, well, get in on the action with tournament winners, top 5 finishes, match betting, and so much more. If you haven't tried FanDuel, now is the time to give it a shot. Join with code SUBPAR and turn a $5 bet into $200 in free bets, win or lose, exclusively on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Must be 21 years and older in select states. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable free bets that expire 14 days after receipt. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342 in Arizona. Call 1-800-522-4700 Colorado. 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat Connecticut. 1-800-GAMBLER or visit FanDuel.com/RG in New Jersey, Iowa, Illinois. 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. That's 467-369 in New York or 1-800-522-4700 in Wyoming. All right.
Well done.
Well, let's enjoy it. We're just 2 weeks away from the U.S. Open, Sleaze. Time to get amongst and make sure you get your doers. Get ready for just another major right around the corner, and we'll talk to you on next week's Golf Subpar.